Good afternoon. It's Sunday the 28th of November. It's the third week since Wealth Creators University and it's my third update on the progress. Now, any of you that know me, I'm absolutely passionate about rugby, and I read something this morning by Victor Matfield, and I thought it really would sum up the lessons that I would like to go on about that I've really understood and did this week. And really, if you take the formula for riches, it talks about the intent, the belief and the focus. And Victor Matfield said that what has actually happened with the Springbok rugby team is that what happened yesterday when they beat the English was that they finally got the belief in not only the strategy but the team tactics and the team. And look at the different results they got. Same team, same players, same formula. But until they had the belief, they didn't get the results. And you know, yesterday that Springbok team played with absolute fire, tenacity, and the beauty is they played good rugby for the full 80 minutes. And it comes down to one simple thing, and that is the belief. And by changing the belief, they were able to change the results. Now, where does that come in terms of what I've learned in terms of my lessons this week? Because I'm going through a massive metamorphosis at the moment. It's so exciting, and I really hope that by sharing what I'm learning, it'll be able to inspire you, to teach you, and to help you get the results. So there's 4 lessons that I learned this week that I wanted to go through. The first one is debt collecting. Years ago, I'll never forget this, I had a newspaper that we used to work with, and they had a guy, he was a French student, his name was Jean-Francois. He used to phone me every single day. He used to phone me on my cell phone, he would say, "Scott, have you paid the bill?" I go, "Jean-Francois, I'll pay the bill today." And the next day he would phone me. And he'd even phone me twice sometimes. And the bottom line is, I always call it the Jean-Francois model of debt collecting. Do you know that he was on £3.50 an hour because all he really wanted to do was to learn English? But it's one of the most powerful things. If you've got the belief that you are owed the money, you've got to continue to persevere. And this week on Wednesday, against all odds, we finally got paid a large amount of money that we were needing. But you know, because of the complications of the closing down of the business and everything else, I had to debt collect with 7 people. I was like a complete Rottweiler. The moment it moved from one person to the next, even within the same bank, I just followed. I had tenacity, I had persistence, and just like Jean-Francois, I wasn't going anywhere, and they knew that. And I finally got the results and got the money in the bank. So when it comes to debt collecting, make sure that you are the most persistent person, because I guarantee you, you'll get paid first. And again, that comes back to your intent, your belief, and your focus, the formula for riches. The second one, this week's been another good week for our Australian income. We've made another 2 Australian sales. We also got paid that 60,000 Rand in our bank account. So my very first deal where my belief system completely changed. I'm now seeing the results from doing the work. Within 3 or 4 days, the money was in my bank account. And that is going to metamorphose our business. And now that I've got that account, I've spoken to Hannes and Leon. I'm getting the auditors to do the reports so that I can get my fellow on the Institute of Wealth Creators. I also had some great news. I've been persisting in working with Tony Robbins and Chet Holmes overseas, and this week they call it the Dream 100, where you work persistently with companies. Back in June I sent them a book, I've already mentioned it, I've done presentations, I follow up, and it's constantly about offering value to clients. Well, this week I got a massive order for 80 of those DVD sets, and it really just changes the dynamics completely of that business and really gets that business off the ground, which is fantastic. And as a byproduct, I did sell another one, so I've actually sold 81 of them this week, which really brings my third business, or my third income stream, is really now taking off. And the money's there and the results are there, which I think is fantastic. And then lastly, I mentioned to you that we were holding an event on auction property, education-based marketing. I'm a big believer that there's a huge opportunity. I mean, I went to the FNB rapid auction yesterday, 82 properties being sold for massive values. But the problem is people don't understand the process. There's a complete science and a technique behind it, and people don't understand it. So I decided to use our education-based marketing, and on Friday morning we held a breakfast. I'm very proud to say that, you take big risks when you put on an event. You can ask Hannes and Leon about that, because you never know who's going to turn up or whether there will be a market. Well, we had 28 people turn up, 28 people paying 200 Rand. So again, a complete change in mindset, a change in belief system. Suddenly the event, for me, didn't cost me any money. In the past, they would have cost me 5 or 10,000 Rand, and I can't do them very often because it's a cash flow problem. Now, it paid for itself. We had tremendous feedback from the people, so they really, really enjoyed it. I tried something that I've learned from both Hannes and from Tony Robbins to deliver much more value than they ever expected. And the bottom line is, I got to talk to 28 highly sophisticated investors that really puts us in a completely different level for helping people buy pre-auction, auction, PRPs or properties in possession. And I think, just by going to that F&B event yesterday, this is really, really a ripe opportunity. There's over 90,000 distressed sellers just from F&B at the moment in South Africa. So we know there's massive opportunity. But the other thing is, I've been on Hannes's course. I understand how the Property Pro system works. I know how to work out the internal rate of return, because if you just go along to those auctions and you don't know how the facts and figures work, you don't have a system to be able to calculate it, you're going to come short. One of the guys that I was there with yesterday, he bought a property, he thought it was a fantastic deal. He's driven out there today, apparently completely oversupplied, hundreds of developments that are unoccupied, and he's got his bargain, but is it a good investment or not? Without the Property Pro system, without being able to work out the internal rate of return, you're no longer just using your gut feel, using science, using a system, ultimately using the formula for riches to get your success. And I think if you know how to do that, it's hell of a powerful. There's some fantastic opportunities in the market. And then lastly, the last thing that I did this week, which I think is very valuable, I love this book that I'm reading at the moment, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And what I like to do when I find books that I like, I go out and I buy 10 of them, at least 10 of them. And then I hand them out to my friends and business colleagues with no objective. And the bottom line is, I believe that they're massively valuable, and I hand them out to people. And do you know, it really works, because that 4-Hour Workweek, I actually gave Chet Holmes's book to Bill Rawson. Bill Rawson really liked the gesture, and so he gave me the 4-Hour Workweek, which I didn't know about until I had the book, and I absolutely loved it. So, it's that whole thing in giving, you actually get so much more. And just through that gesture, I'm starting to build a fantastic relationship with Bill Rawson, who's one of the most respected people in the South African property industry. So think about it. Find yourself a good book. Who could you give it to? So on that note, another fantastic week. We're 3 weeks in from the course now. I've now got 3 income streams up and running. All 3 of them I can prove that I've achieved the objectives with regards to what we need to do for the Wealth Creator University. I'll make sure I get them done this week so that I can have the results come this weekend, because I'm very excited. Next weekend is the next Wealth Creators University. I know Hannes and Leon have been working very hard on it, so I want to really, I'm really looking forward to what we can expect out of it. Have a fantastic week. There's probably about 2.5 weeks left until Christmas, until everyone really does properly shut down. I'm going to push hard. I set myself the 3 objectives to have the 3 income streams before. I'm fully on track. I'm going to make sure it happens. Hopefully you are too. Remember, I only tell you this so that I can teach you my lessons, so that you too can be motivated. But most importantly, just like the Springboks, you need to have the belief. Work on the belief to make sure you get the results.